Nosotros habla.
Hey, everybody.
Get ready,
This
they're
is
coming.
Yvette Nicole Brown. Stop it. Say your name.
Hi, Anthony Russo.
Dan Harmon.
Joel McHale. And Danny Pooty is on the other side of the glass. You can't
Pootie's
see.
here. Hey, Pootie.
Okay, so this is episode production code 104. What was it actually aired as? Why would I care about that?
This is social psychology. I think it did air fourth.
This was one of those episodes that was aired out of order. It was moved up, and it was a rushed post schedule on this episode.
Nevertheless, one of our favorites, Liz Kakowski, wrote the writer's draft, and it was it was early in the show, but it was a big milestone because it was like one of the first scripts that I just felt was almost ready to go. You know, and it was a great feeling that we can actually do this.
Hey, Vaughn, how's it going?
That man.
Eric Christian Olsen.
Aaron
Christian Olsen.
Eric Christ-like
Stop
old
it.
guy.
He's awesome. He's on NCIS.
Is he really? He's a cast member now?
I believe that he's
You have no idea.
a super guest star, maybe a cast member.
Oh, a
next year.
super guest star.
That's better than a regular guest star. He's very awesome.
He works a lot. So, look, we've been jumping all around today in terms of the order. We've been recording these commentaries, and it's like we're going back now to early in the season, and it just makes me think, like, early in the season, part of the fun is, one, we're getting to know the characters again, which this episode is very much about, this relationship between Shirley and Jeff.
Yeah.
Also, just seeing Eric there, it's like, I remember, like, part of the fun of the early episodes, too, is you're casting. You're going beyond your regular cast and you're finding new people to come into the show. And it's like some of those people end up having lives in the first season that we didn't expect when we cast them as
He was in
first,
what? 6 episodes? 7 episodes?
And he did a few.
Yeah, would that we had the time to like actually spend even more time with that character because it was like, the idea of him being a musical rival of Pierce's and stuff.
That's great.
This was the first episode that I actually got to spend time with Joel. So it was kind of like Shirley and Jeff. Shut up. Shirley and Jeff were getting to know each other, and me and Joel were getting to know each other at the same time. So it was good for me. Was it good for you? Be kind.
What part?
Hate you.
I was listening to
Hate
the
you
show.
so
I
much.
was gonna
Hate
see
you with a passion that seeps through my pores
that
like Gillian's
John Oliver
skankiness. Like
is
that, Gil?
terrific.
It's a callback.
Oh,
Liz Kakowski came up with the idea in the room, this very beautiful, subtle idea that the basis of Jeff's friendship with Shirley, which they wouldn't know about at first, but they would accidentally discover, is their mutual share of gossip. Talking smack behind people's backs. And I just thought that was such a brilliant idea because it was really spent
fun
these first 6 episodes trying to figure out how to. We wanted to spotlight each character and have Jeff's life become inextricably tangled in each character's life. And how do you do that with Shirley? Well, it was great to just embrace it and let the character say to Britta that he doesn't like the idea of walking around with her and talking to her and making small talk, and then for them to find out their friendship was first with Jeff's character. Jeff and Shirley were the first to really bond.
Does this mean that they can't be together anymore because they really are toxic together?
They say that. No, I think that. I think that the family actually grows together so much that it's sort of like a double-edged sword. It's like Shirley can go back to being Jeff's least favorite member of the family if we want, because they're all so close now.
Was she ever his least favorite member of the family?
Well, in this episode, in the beginning,
just
he's
a
saying,
little side note, I'd like to
I
point
don't
out-
want to walk with her.
I'd like to point out the coffee shop is called Hot and Brown.
Yes.
It was named after.
We were trying to. How do you come up with a new coffee shop name after 15 years of coffee shops and sitcoms?
Me and Pip, one of our ADs, we believe that that's about us because we're both brown women, so we're both hot and brown.
Wow, you're able to turn it back to yourself.
Whatever.
That's great.
Also, she's
Pip as
allowed to
well.
be racist.
That wasn't racist.
Well, no, it's not
Was
racist
it?
from you. It's like you guys get to have all the fun. I want to call people.
What if
hot
I was
and
just
brown.
like, yes, this is about black women?
Hot and brown is not racist. I think
No,
it's
it's
cute.
a strip club.
It's not. I think it's cute.
All right, John
Damn,
Oliver,
What?
amazing.
With the cutest
amazing.
dimples ever.
And he's like Jim Rash in that comedy flows out of him like a broken Roman fountain. where you go to these old ruins and they built fountains 2,000 years ago, and everything still works perfectly no matter what. It's still always coming out.
So true.
But unlike Jim Rash, they're both equally amazing, but in different ways. Jim Rash is like a machine. He'll hit every mark and every line exactly the same way if you want him to. So when you're in the edit bay, you're like, oh my God, it's so easy to cut. John Oliver, like Richie Valens in La Bamba, different thing every time.
Nicely
like
done,
all
sir.
filled with
Nicely done.
amazing, like making so many discoveries all the time, and you don't even want to go near him to suggest that he redo something that made you chuckle, because he's just going to do something even
funnier.
Yeah.
In your chain?
What? Community college Spanish teacher can't use $80
I
bucks?
can.
Well, we're just...
I remember there were a lot of shots of like John Oliver's character kind of leering at Annie. And I remember early on going like, it makes me too uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if I was the most protective of, that idea that Annie's like this little girl, or, or if I was...
Ken in the chair.
Ken Jeong, he is, we'll talk about Machine.
This is great, this shot. Like,
That was the day the writer from Entertainment Weekly was here with you. We shot that outside. Remember that? He was right around that corner we walked from.
Wow. You remember things much better.
we shoot a lot of these shots on the Paramount lot, and you look in the background, it's another testament to our set people.
Short legs.
A lot of our exteriors are shot at the LA Community College. The architecture you see mimicked back there, and those things directly between Yvette and Joel, they mimic the architecture of LACC, and this is shot on the Paramount lot. We just haul out these things on forklifts. They create fake LACC anywhere we want on the Paramount lot.
Actually, right across from where I'm walking is the president of Paramount's office. So...
Joel knows because he frequently visits.
Well, I
there,
have to use the bathroom there a lot. And I accidentally dropped my script ideas.
Nicely done, sir. Nicely done.
To every subject's breaking point.
How many times do we have to do that walk and talk thing?
A shouter.
We never got it right.
There's another character here.
There was a whole different...
Eric Charles Nelson, who showed up in this episode that ended up recurring.
Right,
He's
right.
the guy
Plays
in the
Garrett.
blue shirt in the back.
Yeah.
We ended up naming him Garrett, We don't know what his name is yet in this episode. But
And he was amazing in the paintball episode.
Yes.
Explaining the
It's
preface.
still
That
going
opening
on.
is
Yeah.
genius.
And wasn't he the alien? He was the alien in Abed's.
Yeah.
Eric Charles Nielsen is kind of a darling in the LA stand-up underground. You can see him throughout LA.
What Donald does in a second is going to be
This
so
is completely
genius.
improvised by Donald. I think if the script just said Donald, Troy melts
Yeah, I
down. or
love
something.
it. I love it.
Going on in there? I wasted all day caring for you. The Soul Train Awards were tonight. You promised.
He just makes me giggle. Watch him
amazing.
crawl out. Please watch the animal that he shows.
It's like a bug that's in the back of a bug that's been stepped
It's
on.
one of the
That's-
funniest things in the whole
That's his
season
little
of the show.
period on butt stuff.
Oh my goodness. It makes me happy.
Beautiful.
See how often Hacky Sack takes his shirt off? He plays shirts and skins in a game of chess.
Now, this episode runs longer than the others, right?
Oh, it
was the
does?
full-length one, because they actually... NBC let us supersize this one or something?
Well, what happened was, again, this was early in the season, so we didn't yet have sort of a sharp understanding of the relationship between script length and episode length. And this episode ended up playing very long. It was like 8 minutes over or something. And we had a short post process on it because we were moving it up in air order. So I think they gave us that exception because of that. We were up against the wall and we had too much time to take out.
But the version we're watching on the DVD is the version that aired, right? It's not the syndication version that had to be cut down to 22 or anything like that.
Oh, he looks so sad.
Exactly. Because actually, I looked at this episode on my iTunes before coming here, and I just noticed there was a
You
shot
cheated?
missing from the iTunes that was just in here. So yeah, it's like
You kind of did
You
the
Why
Pierce
would they
Hawthorne
chop
thing.
down the iTunes version?
I don't know.
You cheated.
I mean, there's no commercials on the iTunes version.
You can't prepare for the DVD commentary.
Oh, man. How about, is everyone enjoying those iTunes checks coming in?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
didn't get mine, did they?
What?
Yeah, you have. Okay.
How do you think I
12
flew to
cents.
Paris private?
I think Jeff really loves Britta.
Well, I remember
gotta say,
this
when I
scene
read
was
this-
a kind of a weird turn, like weird or not weird. Like I like the overall effect of it, but I remember thinking we had internal debate about it. The critics responded to this. It's like all of a sudden Jeff Winger is Jim Halpert from The Office. All of a sudden it's a rom-com. All of a sudden he's so devastated about her making out with a dude. I think that Jeff Winger is very, very, very like inexperienced with actually like kind of liking girls and stuff. I think he's gay. No. I mean, I think he's like had a very crass sort of like collector mentality about women. Like he needs that validation, and once he gets it, they become disgusting to him, and he moves on. And I think that Britta, for whatever reason, like I think I like looking back on the whole thing. Is that's what's indicated in the pilot too. There's something about her. He's got a big crush on. He's scared of her. He likes the dirtiness, the grunginess, the eclectic thing. Like I think he thinks that she's the type of girl that he's supposed to be with.
Did you think that scene went too far?
No, I didn't, because you're privately like you got your head against it. In the edit bay, we tried to mitigate it a little bit so that you're not like, oh God, oh woe is me. But I like the fact that privately you're actually really bummed out that this one got away. I don't know. I like. But I do recognize it. I just think it's worth noting that it's like your paths can take weird turns. Like all of a sudden your character is exhibiting like behavior that
I remember reading the script and feeling heartbroken. I was like, oh, could she?
Well, that's the other thing is how could she? She's rolling around on the lawn out there. It's like that, but that's what I really like that about the Britta character. How odd she is. How she reminds me of, like I've said, so many of my ex-girlfriends. Like kind of, she's not Annie at all. Completely different reason for being attracted to a girl is that she's like a tough suitcase you throw over your shoulder and take across the world.
And here's John Oliver.
Gives you ringworm.
John Oliver doing a tour de force.
Nice.
Like who thought
she's like a mattress full of bed bugs. She just want to roll around.
You're done, sir. You're done.
Feel the world.
You're done. I love that they start taking notes on him. Genius.
Thank you.
Stop writing! Put your pen. Give me that. Get out! Get out! You bunch of dogs! Get out!
This is me grinding my axe against doctors and therapists and things. I hate people in white coats because they're always telling me I need to come back in.
Oh, Annie, why? How bad?
He's got his Indiana Jones whip there.
I know. Cutest character ever.
Britta said that you did a lot of community service.
Ultimate Frisbee at the Senior Center. It is amazing.
And what makes Frisbee ultimate?
Man.
I remember being very nervous about what I had to do with the making fun of him stuff because I just didn't know how to do it physically.
Well, you figured it out.
Well, I'm not really a physical
People want to
comedian,
know about
so
the nipples.
They're-
Are they prosthetic? They are.
They're fake.
They
They're
are.
tiny nipples.
We came up. Liz Kukowski, I think, had the idea in the room about the guy. Maybe John Pollock too. In the room about this guy. Seth Meyers' brother is an actor who actually apparently has really tiny nipples. The idea was we were going to cast him, but then we just had auditions and stuff, and we had the technology to make nipples small. So
and what was weird is you go into the makeup trailer and there would be a little pile of differently sized nipples, and you thought, what horrible thing has occurred here?
Well, we ended up, I mean, that's part, we ended up that's just a makeup job around the sort of outside of the nipple.
Well, wasn't there a prosthetic?
No, there wasn't
there was prosthetic on there.
No,
That came later.
we didn't use it. We fitted him for a prosthetic, but we didn't have enough money on our meager TV budget to really make the prosthetic
Look
work
real.
properly. So we had to go to the low right.
Can we have a new character in season 2 that has special nipples? So we use prosthetics.
Nipples, yeah, absolutely.
Just start
They're like extra long.
building those now.
I really like this scene. I like the two of these guys on the couch together.
After
Not having sex?
Focus groups, like we were so used to thinking of Britta as like, well, she's like this other like part of this wacky ensemble of misfits, and then you have like focus groups say the oddest, most simplistic things that
gave me something.
they go like, well, we like her because she's the normal one. I was like, at some point, like, well, I think you're missing the point. But then, well, listen to that. Like, you like the way these two are together. You don't necessarily endorse a will they or won't they between them, but they feel good like siblings. They feel like when they patch schemes together, when they're hanging out, kind of rubbing up against each other in a dry way. That's what we like about Jeff and Britta. I think.
How often did this how many times does something like this get focused, grouped?
Yeah, I was about to ask. You focus people
Early
More than we'll ever know.
Well, yeah. They ask us if we want to know. I'd say early on we do.
Do they do every episode?
No. They take a handful and they do their thing. you know, it's to me, it's like you can draw good feedback from a fire hydrant. I mean, they scatter chicken bones on the floor
Fire
and
hydrants
go.
fight fires, Dan. So that they
But
do.
to be fair, NBC never, sort of misused that information. They just sort of shared it with us.
Absolutely.
And it was very sort of open in terms of what we took away from it.
Yeah, we are not the victims of a lot of creative compromise. I will say that. I'm not just being a company.
And this
man.
is where Allison just walked in that day because she was auditioning for Dukes of Hazzard 2.
the preppening.
It is the preppening.
The sensation you're feeling is the preppening.
Welcome to the country club.
That's right, laugh it up. You guys want to know what they're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Danny.
I heard you with my own ear. Binoculars.
Pierce, we are not making fun of you.
Calling me hacky sack and ripping my six-pack abs and my moist hair.
Maybe
That
looks
face
good,
you
though.
made, that was pretty obviously Annie.
Okay, this is definitely still part of the
I
experiment.
forgot she made that
We were
face.
not making fun of you.
Yeah.
We're making fun of Britta's boyfriend, Vaughn.
Oh, good. Well, in that case, but if we're going to do something.
This is a great shit hitting the fan scene, which becomes a staple of Community. Like I like it's hard to engineer these.
No worries, no worries. And he always says hello 3 times in a row. Hello, good evening. How are you? And look, he wrote a poem.
The end of the second act, you want
So we done in like an hour?
disaster on some scale.
Guys, you met Vaughn,
I felt
right?
bad for real about it.
Yeah, I did too. That's
it
what's
is rough.
great.
Yeah.
Another great thing is like I've said in other commentary and other episodes, writing up to the supposed villains until the point. In this scene, Vaughn becomes the most likable character.
Yeah, he
in the scene.
does. It's so sad.
You always follow your pity. That's why when we talked about the Britta character, beating up on her to make the audience like her. People don't get that. They think that means you don't like her. No, you like Charlie Brown. You like Job. You like, not from Arrested, Job from the Bible. You,
Nice clarification there, sir. Thank you for that.
Job with a J. But in this scene, like this guy gets beat up on immediately. You like him.
Yeah, you like him.
And you realize that our crew, kind of like the Cheers gang or the it's like Seinfeld family, it's like, wow, no, they're very, very bad people. Kind of, they're flawed people.
He's crying. Now he's barking.
He's crying.
This scene right here, this was hard doing with you, Joel.
Well, this is when I told you to fuck off.
No, not that
When
part.
I could not get my lines right. I
Oh,
was
is
like,
that way?
fuck you.
No. And I didn't know you that well. So I'm like, is he really saying that to me? But no, there was a scene where we had to walk from the gate to sit down. And you were like, the script said that we walk. And I said, we're supposed to go now, Joe. And you said, make me do it. I was like, oh.
I did?
Yeah, you were like, make me, like you were like telling me as an actor to actor, like, you better act better to make me want to walk over there with
did?
you.
Wow,
Yes.
what a
And I
jerk.
was like, he's mean.
You mean
He's mean.
right?
Huh?
Oh, sorry.
No. But we didn't know each other well yet. And I was just like, oh my
see,
God.
I just tell jokes and do crap like that when I don't know people.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, I was so
I'll
scared.
just
I was
say it.
terrified.
It doesn't.
He'd call it a defense mechanism, but it's really offensive.
Yeah. I didn't even see. I
Best
didn't.
defense.
You don't remember that? I was like, Joel,
I
we're
had
supposed
no
to. I was like, we're
idea.
supposed to be over there now, and you were like, make me.
This is a
I was
great
like, oh.
early moment to be on your 4th episode. Turned out to be our 3rd or whatever it is, but to have this kind of chemistry between characters, this cute little moment.
We're about to kiss, I think.
I love when you open the zipper.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
when are we
about.
gonna
This
kiss,
sort of
Joel? When is Shirley and Jeff gonna have their moment? Sloppy eights.
This is one
I have
unfortunate
to
thing that we had to cut
few
out of the
more,
really
but-
long version of this is John Oliver comes back to this scene. She gives him the DVD set. John Oliver comes back, says to Annie, "You're brilliant. You're brilliant. I would love for you to help me with my stuff." And she says to him, "No, I'm gonna go hang out with my friend and watch." I was like, "Did it get cut out?" or-
It got cut out, but
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
The other beauty of it was it really paid off that whole experiment storyline,
Yeah.
and that he has this epiphany that his meltdown over Abed actually confirms his theory of the
Yeah.
Duncan principle.
Like Anthony said, which is truly one of the things like that your show just is going to get better over time because of that whole, like he said, the calibrating of how long your scripts can be based on what the style is. That every production is a new family. The unique combination of all the people, their styles, the editing styles, and all these things. You need to come up with a page count for the script that's going to require the least amount of like killing children being jokes, children being storylines and stuff. And early on, you're just making like, it's like you're shooting movies that have to be 20 minutes long, and you're flying blind, and some tragedies happen.
But that was a great lesson, because I always thought that was one of the funniest scenes John Oliver had done.
Yeah.
And we had to cut it, so it's like, yeah, that's a hard lesson.
You got to put it in the extras.
Whenever you hear cool needle drops like this that you like, it's usually Joe Russo, who has 1,000 million songs on his iPod.
Yeah, and you walk up to the Video Village, and you'll be about to ask Joe a question. He goes, "Listen to this."
Yeah.
What would you think of this song during this?
You
I'd be
guys
like,
have
"It's
great
really
Joe
great."
Russo impressions.
Mine's more like this. Like
Do
I
yours,
picture,
Dan.
That's what I was doing.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah,
That
sorry.
wasn't your best. You did
Listen,
a better
when you
one
want to
earlier.
do a steady
There
cam
it
shot,
is.
listen,
Listen, guys,
look.
this is what it's gonna
At
be.
the end of the
all right?
day,
We're gonna come in and we're
you
gonna
do
hit it.
You
And
get out the steady cam, you pull it across, you rake it down the alley, you do it, you
get him,
in, out,
we
you
get him,
out,
we
the
get
sun
in, we
comes
get
up,
out.
it goes down, you're still shooting, you're done.
I got an impression
You guys
of
all
him. Ready?
You guys all need to work on it. I know.
yeah,
I know
Anthony
more,
would know
yeah.
how his brother sounds better.
Here's mine. You guys want to go to New Orleans? $5,000. You in? You guys in?
Who's in? Come on, Yvette.
go.
You can
We're
drink
going
water. You don't have to drink. You can drink water.
So this scene was shot at 4 a.m. on
Oh,
Saturday
so
morning.
late.
I remember this.
I think I went to New York. I just drove straight to the airport.
Matt Jones
And the
played
episode
the
had to
stoner.
lock Saturday night at like 9 p.m.
I can hear you through the window, morons.
So I was up a straight 36 hours from
Yikes.
Friday till Saturday night.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.